Welcome back, everyone. We are again with the Tesla Model 3 Performance, and we're going to customize it just a little bit more in this video. I'm going to do the screen rotation modification, and I'm also going to fix the windshield wipers. Now, this is probably one of the most controversial things I have is the windshield wipers. There's a lot of people that are saying, oh my God, it has to be Tesla. It can only be Tesla. There's gonna be so many issues, this, that, and the other. But something that I notice while it's raining and I've driven this car, I've only used the windshield wipers like 4 times, and it's already creating lines on the windshield where it's happening. And I've never, ever had that with my other cars because all of my other cars, I've used silicone wiper blades. And of course, they're a little bit more expensive. These ones are not silicone wiper blades, as far as I know. So I'm gonna replace these with some silicones, and hopefully that will make so I stop having that weird, streaky, patterny thing. So if you don't know, you need a certain kind of, I'll say an adapter. So this piece right here, I think it's called like a quick connect or something like that. You usually have a J-hook. Most cars have a J-hook. It's a very common one. These ones are a little bit different, so you need to make sure you get these. Of course, the ones that I have, I'll link down below. Really good price, really good reviews, and it fits this car. So as you can see, they're kind of hard to get to, so let's lift the wiper blades up before we can pop them out, and that we have to go inside. So once we're in the car, we're gonna go and hit service. Once we're in the service screen, we're gonna scroll down, and right down here, it's gonna say wiper service mode. And you can see, bam, they're ready to be serviced. So we're gonna keep them up there so we can actually get to them. All right, so once we get out here, it's actually pretty simple. I'm gonna use a microfiber as kind of a little buffer once I actually get the wiper blade off. But all you gotta do is push the button in and pull the wiper blade out. See if I can do this with one hand upright. So we'll push that in, and then it slides right out. And we'll put this down and rest it on that microfiber. So here's the windshield wiper. I'll keep this as a backup just in case the ones I have turn out to be really crappy. I do have these as backup. They do work totally fine. It's just the material that they're made out of leaves that weird streak on the windshield. So I'm replacing both of these, and I'm gonna do the same method over here. The driver's side is a 26, and this one over here, the passenger, is a 19. All right, so I've got the big boy. I got the 26 on the driver's side. And as you can see on here, it's got a protective plastic little sheathing on there. That's just to make sure the coating that they put on the blade itself stays on there. It's like a Rain-X. It's got a repellent that's on there. So this is gonna go on just like the other one. The little tab is gonna go down just like that. You gotta squeeze it in. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. And boom, it clicks in place. That's literally it. And you have a wiper blade installed. We'll get that out of the way. And then this is just gonna slide out. There we go. It's hard to do with one hand. Once you're done with that, common sense, you come in here, you take it off that little service mode, and your windshield wipers are done. Bye, wipers. All right, so once we open the box, we got our instructions with a bunch of pictures, so hopefully that'll be good enough. We got our little baggie of tools and stuff that we'll need in here, and then we have the actual stuff. So there's this thing, don't know what that does yet. This bezel, it's made out of plastic. And same thing with this one, made out of plastic, same material. This one, now this is the beefy boy. This is metal. Looks like it's powder coated, very good quality. I'm guessing this is the hinge joint. All right, our first step is to use this little hook to take out the plastic piece underneath. So I've got the little hook, and if you look right under here, that's exactly what we're looking at. So I'm gonna take this little guy, I think it's facing that way. Yeah, it's gonna face that way. I am using my phone as a mirror. This, and then we're gonna pull. Oh, okay. That was super easy to pull out. I thought that was gonna be way harder. Cool. So it may not say it anywhere in the instructions, but I'm gonna do this just in case, just because there's electrical stuff I can hear buzzing. So I am going to go into safety, scroll all the way to the bottom, and hit power off. All right, next up, we're gonna remove the temperature sensor. I guess that's what the temperature sensor is on the inside of the car that lets you know how hot your car is. So if you want to get this unplugged, this little square right here, there's that clip on the inside. Just get that tool that we just used, grab the corner of it and push in right here while pulling up on this. So next up, it's saying grab the tool provided, which is this funny looking dude over here. I guess since most people don't have tools that are doing this, I don't really know. And now we need to remove the 2 screws that is holding the whole screen together. So based on that, the screen comes down afterwards. So make sure you've got something in the way over here nice and soft that you can set the screen down on. So we're going to come up here. We're going to take a look. There are 2 screws or bolts. You've got one right there and one right there. So I just got one out, and you can see here on the threads, it does have a form of Loctite. So I highly suggest, if you have a drill or something a little bit better than what they provide, at least once you break it loose, you can use this one like I am. But this was not giving me enough torque to break it free. So I had to grab my little impact over there and get it started. But that's why they're kind of tough to get off. It does have some thread locker on there. Seems like my screen keeps wanting to turn on every time I do something. But I turned it back off again. So I got both screws out, and I thought it would just immediately fall forward, but it looks like you have to finagle it a little bit. So kind of up and towards you, kind of like that. And it looks like it's slid down in there. There we go. Yeah, so it does just slide in there like that. Kind of slides over the top of it. All right, so the next step is to basically take off the 2 screws that holds this plastic piece on. However, the tool that they give you, which is this, has the, I believe it's T25 at this end and nothing at this end, but this is the only end that would be able to get down there deep enough to do anything, because that don't do it. And if you come in from that side, this piece of metal is too long. So you have to go in between it, and there's not enough room to actually catch the thread and take it off. So either be really freaking good at this or just have your own set of tools. So you can see T25 over there, T25 over there, just as easy as taking those out. I've got my own T25 on my little screwdriver, so we're going to do it this way. So now that we have that shroud out of the way, we're going to take this white cover off. So I just kind of squeeze it out like this and try to move it out of the way. There we go. Oh God, now it's stuck. And nice and easy, that plug came straight out. It's just a regular plug where you squeeze in on this little thumb pad right there. Well, if you have tiny thumbs, squeeze in there, pop it out. You can also use a flathead screwdriver, but now our screen is no longer attached to the car. How's that for minimalistic, Elon? So next up, we're gonna put the bracket in just like this. So you can see flat end here, and then you've got the little circle. You're gonna have the divots up here, and you can see we've got 2 little holes like that for screws, for securing it in even more. Those are gonna face towards you. So we have it like this, and they're gonna fit right in these 2 little slots right here. Just like that, very snug. There we go. So that is where the bracket is gonna be placed. So the next step on here is to get those original screws that we took out and place them through the bracket. So that's these little silver ones. You just have to line it up until you start hitting the threads on the other side. They still do have that thread locker in there, so they're not the easiest thing to do by hand, but we can get those in, at least started, and then wherever that pesky little thing is, yeah, we'll get this guy and tighten him up. So now we get to put the new little decorative shell thing on there. So we grab the new one, and depending on which one you have, I'm gonna take this off for installation, but you can see on here, that is for 2019 and 2020 3NY, and this little other weird looking one is for mine, because I got a 23. So I will be using this one, but I'm just going to take this out temporarily. It does come with the other one. That's what that little other piece in there is for. So I'm gonna put that off to the side for now, and let's get this guy put on. All right, so in order to fit this shell on here, that's exactly how it's gonna go. It says to move this all the way to the left, so that is tilted all the way to the left. And then we just kind of have to bring it on here and slide it and kind of finagle this. Got to make sure the top clears this one. There we go. And then this goes over this way, and then just a little bit more clearance up there. There we go. Now I can move this back. Oh, this is very tough, but I think once the screen's on there, it's going to be much better. So move that back. Now this is back on to where it should be, and I can get the included screws. Got to get that thing lined up to wherever the heck it's supposed to be. Anyway, it does have the 2 little screws included in the bag. All right, in order to get this bezel on, we're first going to set it up here on that little bracket, and it's going to slide down. Of course, this is what I forgot to do last time. Get your wires and route them through this little hole in here. So then on the inside, you can see there's a little tab right up in here. That tab has to go inside. If you guys can, there you go. So there's a little tab that needs to go inside the hole here at the same time that the top slides in. So as long as you have that one in there and you slide this down, that's pretty much set. So you've got the little tab on the inside now. It's not perfect, but we've got everything right where it should be, and the holes are lined up. But now we have to push down on the top to slide it underneath the bezel up here. It's a very, very tight fit. So now we're just gonna do a little bit of scooching of it down in there to make sure this mates up nice and flush. All right, we are almost done. So if we take a look at our instructions, we just need to put on this little bracket on the back before we fix everything up. So the new bracket that comes with it looks a little bit like that. So we're gonna line it up just like it is on here and put back the screws that were once on there. I've got them in here in the cup holder somewhere so I don't lose them. All right, so I guess you can't really screw it up. So it lines up just like it does on there, just like that. All right, so I just got the clip back on here. I slid it over the top of it. You can see it's in the right place because it's wiggling around. Now that I've got that in place, I can get the little brackety doohickey, fit it through here, inside. So then when I click that in place, I won't be in a tough place where it becomes impossible. All right, so I'm gonna push this down into place until it gives a nice click. I'm pretty sure everything is right where it should be. Just pull this cover down, get those screws, here we go, get those screws, and put them into place on both sides, and we'll be good to go. Now that we have that all tightened up, we can finally get everything mounted. So the little slit here is gonna go through here, and then we're gonna have the provided 2 black Allens and the Allen key go through these holes. So there's a hole in the bottom of both of those. So it's gonna go through on both sides and get it tightened up. And last but not least, we'll do the temperature sensor down there and we'll be done. All right, so we get this, we slide it through that little slot. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Now, gotta do some Houdini stuff and come in through the bottom with these screws and mount them that way. Wow, thank you, Light, for letting me know I need to clean my screen. Anyway, we've got everything in place. Let's get the light up in here. Those 2. It's very difficult to get them lined up because it's very hard to basically put your eyes and look up this way. But once you get them aligned just right, you can see where the hole is. You can maneuver it around a little bit in that little slot that it goes into. But once you get one lined up, the other one falls into place just as easy. Boom, nice and tight. And now we can see the finished product, not in all of its glory because we still have one more bit that we need to do. So I'm gonna make sure this is right where I want it. Lift it up a little bit. And the last bit, I'm gonna go back in here. This is the one for my vehicle. So I need this one. Those 2 screws is where that temperature sensor is gonna go. We're gonna unscrew those 2 little Torx bit up top. Now, I'm not really sure why they did this. So they said this one fits, the other one definitely doesn't. But if you take a look at this, they're very even. This one's a little bit further away, but they're even. If you take a look at this, you can see that they're off center. So when you actually put this on, if you want them to line up correctly, you can even see it in the picture, the square's not going to line up square. It's going to be lopsided. It's going to be put on like that. And this is what the finished product looks like. So you can see up top, it's a little lopsided. Same thing with the bottom. It's got to be some sort of fitment issue or lazy engineering. One of those, but whatever. Pretty simple. Now that we're done with that, though, we'll go under here. We'll grab the wire, plug it into here. So I figured out you can actually get it up here. See how there's that open bit? You can actually get it up here just enough. Okay, so if you look on this side, you have the black tab. You can see it a little bit better right there. You just have to get it over, just like that, and then slide down. I don't have the left side, but I got to do the same thing on the left side. Just like that, and then it slides down into place, nice and smooth. There's your temperature sensor. Also, a little tidbit of information here. Once I got everything done, I hit the brake pedal. Stuff was not turning on. Just do your soft reset, so hold down both the buttons for 5-ish seconds until you can see the screen do its little flicker thing. Let go, and once it reset everything, boom, I've got the screen working again. All right, so here is the final product. We've got everything installed exactly the way it should be. A few little gripes with the install for the company, but that's besides the point. The bracket and everything's solid metal. We're not going to have any issues with that. So, the customizability... Oh, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look how far over that goes. If your passenger wants to just play around on games or over here while you're doing your own thing, that is amazing. And then the other way around, you get a 100% driver-focused point of view. This is comfortable. I love this. And then also, look how tall you have to freaking be. Oh, look at that. You can be a giant. If you are really, really tall and you have a Tesla, like I'm 6 foot and I've got massive amounts of room before my head hits. If you're like 6'5", 7 plus, this is a must. And I guess if you're a teeny tiny person, maybe sitting in here, that's a really good view for you. But I am going to keep it right at my point of view, facing right towards me. Driver centric, so cool. So the only two gripes that I have really with the whole installation is, one, get your own tools. The tools provided are trash. They don't work half the time, so I highly suggest getting your own. And two is that temperature sensor thing. That just threw me off. Why did it have to be wrong? Anyway, everything else you wouldn't be able to know by looking at it. It looks completely stock. It's not super cheap quality. That hinge is really, really beefy metal. Is it doggo approved? Nice little stretch. Made it look like you were pooping.